Hello. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Wow, three in a row. Yes, you're getting three in a row, and tomorrow you're not getting anything because tomorrow I have to be at the hospital. Friday, you'll probably get one, but that'll be a pop up and already done. Um, but you're getting three in a row today. And, I do a series called How's Married Life. And I've been doing that series for a while now and stuff. Enjoy doing that series. uh, like doing that series. It's a great series to do, and enjoy talking about married life. Enjoy talking about how good it can be, but also some of the real parts of being married. After the wedding is over and you're living in the house with someone and getting to know them as husband, wife, spouse, whatever, and stuff. And there's a lot of different things and expectations that can come along with that, and stuff. Even if you have been to pre-marriage counseling, which I highly recommend people do before they get married. I really do. I'd still say there will be things that will pop up that probably will be new and you didn't discuss or never thought about and stuff. And people will, stuff will happen. So today I'm talking about. I always feel like somebody's watching me, and I'm not talking about essentially. I feel like someone's watching me particularly, but I know in marriages sometimes there can be some trust issues and stuff. People are afraid that a husband and wife might step out on them and stuff like that, and people have trust issues coming into a marriage and stuff. People have those. They don't all of a sudden pop up when you get married. People had those before you met them, and usually marriage can sometimes bring out some issues that people didn't know they had and stuff. Stuff from long ago, stuff they got from their family or their parents, and stuff that just sort of got passed down to them, unfortunately, and we don't even consciously know that those things are a part of us until we end up in a marriage with somebody and then some stuff comes out. But we may have issues because we had a partner previously who was unfaithful, or somebody that was untrustworthy in some way, untrustworthy with sex, money, whatever, and stuff. So we may have some issues there and stuff. So, and those are things that you have to resolve. But you can't kind of resolve the trust issues once you're in the marriage. You really have to try to figure those out previous to that. And I've had people ask me, you know, a couple of times about me letting my husband do stuff. Oh, you let him do this, you let him do that. And I'm always wondering, how am I going to let an adult do something? He's an adult. I'm not my husband's mother. I'm his wife. My job isn't to lord over him and to tell him what to do and how to do it. I know many times people get into marriage and all of a sudden they're like, well, I don't really like the TV shows you watch, or I don't like the music, or I don't like your friends, or whatever and stuff. And then you decide, oh, I'm just going to cut you off from that stuff and you better do as I ask. Listen, you should have resolved that long ago. If you really had that big of a problem with something that the spouse did previous to the marriage, why did you marry them in order to change them into something that they weren't? That's not fair and stuff. So me letting him do anything is not even an option. He doesn't let me do things. I don't let him do things. I trust my husband. He's never proven himself to be untrustworthy and stuff. And he trusts me. I've never proved myself to be untrustworthy. That's the biggest thing. Now, listen, if you have a spouse that you think is untrustworthy, or you thought was untrustworthy before you married them, then you've got some big problems. Problems that I can't fix in this, that you would probably need to go to some kind of counseling, or, have a talk with someone about those issues you have along with your spouse, because it's really hard to love somebody and not be able to trust them. Personally, on a personal note, I can't love anybody I don't trust. I can't. There's no way for me to give you unconditional love which is love without condition, if I can't trust you, and stuff. If I can't trust that you say what you're, you act, what you actually say is what you're going to do. Where you say you're going to be is where you say you're going to be. What you're doing, outside of this house, what you're doing with money, or what you're doing paying bills, or what you're doing is all what you say, and stuff. I don't really ask many questions and stuff. I'm not a person that gives people the third degree, and everything like that. I ask what I need to ask. If somebody says that they're doing something and I find out you're doing something else, we're going to have a problem. And I'm going to bring that issue up, because in the boundaries of marriage and boundaries with me between a married person, I have to confront sometimes, you have to confront what it is that makes you uncomfortable. There's sometimes I have to confront things, and stuff, or I have to say something about something. And it could be anything. And something somebody said, something somebody did, and I have to confront those things and stuff. Now, what do you do, if you have the issue of trust? As I said, some issues just sort of come with you, and then you have to figure out how to work them out. But I don't really care what you say. You can watch people like a hawk, but you can't watch people 24 hours a day. And I don't even have the kind of time nor the inclination to want to watch somebody 24 hours a day. So, what people are going to do is what people are going to do. I remember when Jada Pinkett Smith said that stuff about, Will could sort of do what he wanted to do, and everybody went crazy. And, oh my God, she said he could cheat, blah, blah. Listen, the thing of it is I'm much, I really got what she said. I actually listened to it and got what she said. You can't lord over grown people. All grown people need to know is that whatever you do, you'll face consequences from. I can't lord over and watch a grown person 24 hours a day. I can't call him all day. I can't, drive by places to see if he's there. I can't do that. Nor do I want to do that. I have a life of my own, stuff that I do and have an interest in myself. I have no inclination to want to know where he is 24 hours a day. If he says he's somewhere, my thought is he's actually there, and stuff. Never has he not been where he said he was going to be. So why would I start thinking about, oh my God, I think he's somewhere else, or I think he's with some other woman, or all this stuff? Listen, if you had men cheat on you, I get why you think that. I get why you think that and stuff, And really in my last marriage, I was trying to watch him and see where he was and find out what he was doing all the time. And you know what? That didn't make the marriage any better. It didn't make me trust him anymore. It didn't make anything any better. It didn't make me feel better or secure. It didn't do anything. It just caused me more anxiety and more anxiousness. And if you're so anxious and have so much anxiety about what you think your mate may be doing, you may need some help. You may really need some help and stuff, because really, if the person hasn't ever done anything, never done nothing, then there's really no reason for you to be anxious about them possibly doing something, And you know what? Even if they did do something, there was really nothing you could do to prevent that. But most of the time, most people are so dependent on other people for all their feelings of feeling good and their happiness and all their emotional well-being and stuff, that if somebody was to pop out the box one day, and stuff, people would be really, some people would be totally devastated. Their whole lives would be over at that point, and stuff. And listen, like I say, my husband's never done anything that I would find untrustworthy, and stuff. That's not something that I worry regularly about. But if he ever decided to, he'd have to face the consequences of whatever it is that he's done. Because the thing about doing stuff, the thing about doing sneaky stuff or shady stuff or all that stuff is people usually find out. People usually know. There are many times that women know husbands are cheating for years and years and years. Many times they won't confront it, because people are so codependent. They won't confront their partner, husband or wife, on their behavior, and stuff, and the stuff that they're doing behind their backs. But personally, I'm not that person. Okay, I have, not that I love conflict or confrontation, because I don't, but I have no problem confronting people. Okay, that's not an issue I have. So if I suspected or knew something was going on, which, I don't know, I got some extra sixth sense, and stuff, and knew something was going on, I'd have to confront him. And then he'd have to face the consequences, whatever those consequences are. Okay, and stuff. And that's how you establish some good boundaries. You don't have to tell people, feel guilty, or have people saying, well, I'm so sorry, and blah. That means nothing. I keep telling people, sorry means nothing without action behind the words. Okay, and stuff. And it's great if they did something untrustworthy, if they did something that betrayed you and stuff. It's really nice for people to apologize and stuff. And if you decide to stay with the folks, they really would need to prove themselves to you and stuff. But, personally, I don't know how you get trust back once it's broken. I know people say that it can be done. I really don't know how. I'm not professing that I do know how. On a personal note, it can't be done with me. Once you betrayed me, we're pretty much done, and stuff. Once I've lost my trust in you and what it is that you're going, then I'm pretty much like, whatever. I'm not going to be bothered. Um, in a marriage, it may be some things that you can't forgive and get over. That's all dependent on you as a person. But there shouldn't be this thing where you're having to constantly feel anxious and feel freaked out, if your partner leaves you for a few hours, or if they go somewhere, go out with a friend, or whatever. That shouldn't be the thing where you're needing to know, kind of what they're doing, or where they're at, or when they're going to get home, and stuff. Listen, if you say you're coming home sometime tonight, I'll see you sometime tonight, and stuff. That comes in, and you having a healthy adult relationship, and stuff. I mean, teenagers look after, want to know where that's stuff teen people do, and stuff. That's not stuff grown people do. I don't have time, I tell you, if that's stuff, like I say, that's teens and 20-year-olds do that stuff. By the time you hit my age, you just, it's like, okay, you know, whatever you say you're going to do, I believe you're going to do. If you don't do it, then, you pay the piper, and that's sort of it. That's all there is. There's no sort of in between. I don't have time to watch you. I don't have time to track you. I don't have time to figure out where you are every minute of the day, and stuff. You do what you're supposed to do, or you don't do what you're supposed to do. There's your two choices, and stuff. There's the two choices. You do what you're supposed to do, everything's fine. You don't do what you're supposed to do, you face there's the two choices. There's not a choice of me following and hounding and trying to figure out what you're doing and where you're at and all that stuff. I don't have time for that. And I wouldn't ever be in a relationship with somebody who had previous to the marriage had betrayed me and then decided to marry them. You make a grave mistake when you do that, because usually with marriage, stuff that's already really wrong in the relationship only becomes really super exacerbated when you marry somebody and stuff. It never, people always think, oh yeah, it'll get better. No, it never gets better. Never, never, never. It never gets better. It usually only gets worse by the time. There's something about marriage that just, it's kind of it can be very stressful. That can be wonderful and joyful and great, but for a bad relationship, it can be very, very stressful, and already sort of, really freaked out, and people thinking, oh well, we're married and we got rings on our fingers, and all, it's a lot of people that don't respect your marriage. Maybe your partner doesn't even respect your marriage, but there's a lot of people outside your marriage that don't respect your marriage and stuff. So if you already have somebody that's not really respectful of your marriage, I'm sure they're able to find somebody that's even less respectful of your marriage. And so if you're having those issues, if you're having the trust issues of people cheating and things like that, or other really deep trust issues previous to marriage, yeah, I wouldn't recommend you get married. I wouldn't. That's because what you have really as a problem is not even the sort of deep trust issues. More than you have an issue with somebody being really immature and stuff. And the last thing you want to do is to be married to a child, an adult child and stuff. And then you just end up in this sort of parent-child role, where essentially that's what it is. You have to watch over people and find out where people are and check on people. You essentially stop being two adults in a relationship, or stop being a man and a woman, or a man and a woman, or a woman and a woman, or a man and a man, whatever and stuff. But you stop being two adults in a relationship as spouses, and you go to being one person is a parent and the other person is a child and stuff. And you go to that sort of relationship, and all parent-child relationships, all they breed is resentment. That's it, on each person's part. The person that's the parent resents being a parent to the other person. The person that's the adult that gets treated like a child resents having somebody else treat them like a child. Grown people don't want to be told what to do. Okay, that's just, they don't, and stuff. And so you end up having a really stressful relationship. Trust me, I know. So that's not what you want. If you have trust issues yourself and stuff, trust that you'll probably do something to really screw up the relationship, because you already don't think that the person would be worthy anyway. Even if they are trustworthy and stuff, you will probably do something to sabotage your own relationship and stuff, because you don't have any trust in them. You don't have any, and really you don't have any trust in yourself, that you could make a good choice and stuff. And so you end up sort of screwing that relationship up before it could even be good. If you have trust issues, for whatever has happened to you in your past, you really need to try to resolve those issues. I would suggest that if you can't resolve deep trust issues, that you maybe stay out of a relationship with people, because you just wreak havoc on them and you wreak havoc on yourself. I mean, that's a really harsh thing to say, because I think people really deserve companionship, but you don't deserve really bad companionship. That's not what anybody deserves and stuff. So, the sort of watching and looking and waiting and trying to find out and figuring out if you could let somebody go somewhere and all that stuff, and people feeling that they can't go anywhere because, oh my God, they're gonna listen. That only leads to drama, and you will never have a healthy, secure, happy relationship with that sort of drama all the time. It just cannot happen and stuff. And so you really have to think about, how you fit into this relationship regarding trust issues, or, and, you know, if you have somebody trustworthy, hey, just enjoy that you can relax and have a trustworthy person and stuff, and if you're having trust stuff yourself, and stuff, you can get some help for that, and stuff. There's help, for that, and the hope is that you can find some resources that will help you with those sorts of issues. Trust is very important. One of the most important things in a good, healthy marriage, and stuff. Because like I say, you can't love anybody unconditionally when you can't trust them. It's just not, those two things don't even go together. Those two words don't even go, unconditional and not trusting, yeah, those two things don't even go together. So you need to make sure that you have that, in the marriage and in the relationship. before you go ahead and even before you go ahead and get married to somebody and stuff. It's an essential part. So hopefully, if you're married, thinking about getting married, in a relationship or whatever, you're discussing many of these things, and you're having a discussion about many of these issues and things. I think I've got like two more How's Married Live going in me and stuff, because as you all know, I've been thinking about closing the blog down, and I'm really thinking really hard, and I think I'm going to do it and stuff. That doesn't mean I'll go away, but I probably won't be here in this capacity and stuff. But thinking about, hey, I'm thinking really hard and thinking that, yeah, I'm going to close this blog down and stuff and move on and do something else, with my time and with my life and stuff, and I'm excited about that. Something here has got to change. Stuff has been sort of the same for a really long time. And there needs to be some change and growth, and I think that's important for me, and I think it's time for me to change and move ahead and do some other stuff when it comes to my life and blogging and my space on social media and the internet and all that good stuff. So I've got two more of these, and I've got to end my boundaries uh, book and a couple of more encouraging tips. And I don't know how long it's going to take me to get out of here, but sometime this fall, probably. So I'll talk to you guys later. I hope everybody has a good rest of their week. Make it enjoyable. Do something you enjoy. Smile. Be happy. Have a joyous time. And we'll talk to you guys later. Okay. Bye bye.